Cold War gold system. After the devastation of World War II, the world needed a new financial system that could restore stability and rebuild international trade. In 1944, representatives from dozens of countries gathered in Bretton Woods, New Hampshire, to design a new global monetary framework. The result was the Bretton Woods system. Under this arrangement, the United States dollar became the central currency of international trade. Other currencies were linked to the dollar, and the dollar itself was tied to gold at a fixed price of $35 per ounce. This system effectively made the US dollar as reliable as gold. Countries around the world trusted the dollar because they believed it could always be exchanged for physical gold held in American reserves. At the time, the United States possessed the largest gold reserves in the world, much of it stored in secure vaults such as Fort Knox. For several decades, this system supported global economic growth. International trade expanded, currencies remained relatively stable, and gold continued to serve as the ultimate foundation behind the monetary system. Although people increasingly used paper money and bank deposits, gold still stood quietly in the background as the anchor of financial trust. End of the gold standard. By the 1960s, however, the system began to face serious pressure. The United States was spending enormous amounts of money on government programs and military operations, particularly the Vietnam War. To finance these expenses, the US government began creating more dollars. As the supply of dollars increased, other countries started to question whether the United States actually held enough gold to back all the currency in circulation. Foreign governments began requesting to exchange their dollars for gold reserves. This created a dangerous situation for the American financial system. If too many countries demanded gold at the same time, the United States could lose a large portion of its gold reserves. To prevent this scenario, President Richard Nixon made a dramatic decision in 1971. He closed what became known as the gold window. This policy ended the direct convertibility of US dollars into gold. From that moment forward, the global financial system moved away from the gold standard and entered the era of fiat currency. Fiat money has value primarily because governments declare it legal tender, not because it is backed by physical gold. Gold in Vietnam. Escape. While global financial systems were changing, gold continued to play a practical role in human survival. During the final years of the Vietnam War, thousands of people desperately tried to escape the country as political and military conditions deteriorated. For many families, gold coins and small pieces of jewelry became the most valuable possessions they owned. Gold was often used to pay smugglers who organized secret escapes by boat or airplane. It could also be used to bribe officials or secure transportation to safer regions. Because gold was compact and widely recognized, it was far easier to carry than large amounts of paper currency. People fleeing Saigon frequently relied on gold to secure passage out of the country. These coins or small gold bars became a form of emergency currency in a time when banking systems were unreliable and governments were collapsing. A few grams of gold could buy a seat on a crowded boat or pay someone willing to help a family escape. Stories from that period illustrate an important lesson. Even when global financial systems shift and new currencies dominate international trade, gold continues to function as a trusted store of value during moments of extreme uncertainty. In the most desperate situations, gold becomes more than wealth. It becomes a lifeline,